Hello everyone. Good morning. How is everyone doing this morning? We are only one day away from Friday. Thank God. All right. For those of you guys who are joining for the first time, I'd love to give you a special welcome. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, our returning followers, I'm hoping everyone is having a fantastic day, guys. Thank you so much for liking the live. We are at one, which is fantastic. In the meantime, guys, we are going to be discussing heavily in detail what you guys are seeing on screen, but we are also going to be going over where you guys can see the before and afters later throughout the live. And then most importantly, we are also going to be discussing the difference between lipo 360 and lipo 360 with ab etching. Okay, so please stay tuned for all of that. In the meantime, for those of you guys who are seeing us for the first time, welcome. Shout out to all of the newbies. So Sanya, thank you so much for the follow. And for those of you guys who are not following us yet, go ahead and hit that follow button, because as I mentioned earlier, when I actually show you guys those before and afters, we will be leaving the app for that. But I do want for you guys to be able to have a point of reference to return. So please give us a follow from now, because things are going to move pretty quickly, okay? In the meantime, once we actually do head over to see those before and afters, you guys will also be able to get educational content such as this, lipo and J plasma for dummies. What's J plasma? You guys are going to get the answers. All right, so please stay tuned for that, and I look forward to starting the games. Okay, so Paula Jones as well as Takesha, thank you so much for the follow. Do we have any other newbies in here? Please type in new in the comments. Okay, in the meantime, let's get to some of the questions that we have here. Okay, just give me 1 second. One sec, because I saw. Okay, so Queenie, what is the last age someone can do surgery? All right, Queenie, Lola official, that is a fantastic question. And in fact, it's not really and truly about your age. It's about your medical age, meaning it's about your health history, as well as ensuring that you are ready for surgery, meaning you are healthy enough for surgery. But they do labs and they do other things in order to make sure medically that you are cleared before you are accepted into doing surgery. Okay. And we had a girl a couple weeks ago, actually, her hemoglobin was lower than what the doctor recommended it needed to be. And guess what? She had to be rescheduled, because at the end of the day, we want you guys safely snatched. We don't just want your money and then for you not to be able to walk out. Okay, so please ensure that it really and truly matters about your medical and health history more so than anything else. But the fastest way to actually get in touch with a coordinator and get that going is by leaving your information in the little blue box down below. So for those of you guys like Queenie who would like to know if you qualify for plastic surgery, please go ahead and leave your details in the little blue box. Now, other people who would also benefit from leaving their details in the little blue box down below, this is the comment box, this is the little blue box. People who would like to know how much is whatever, how much is a tummy tuck, how much is arm lipo, how much is chin lipo, how much is a mommy makeover, anything price related, including financing options, that is where you're going to be able to do that from. Okay, now something else that I highly recommend, if you guys would also like to know what is your BMI and which doctor do you qualify with, because every single doctor has a different BMI requirement and also has a different price in relation. Dr. Maminiskis, who is on screen, does the highest BMI here of 38, so that you guys can keep that in mind, okay? So Queenie, leave your details down below, as well as everybody else who would like to get the information. Now, Sammy says, how does she get a flat tummy? Well, that is what we are going to be discussing today. So shout out to you, Sammy, for asking, and welcome, Fatima. Fatima, I'm laughing at your name because whenever... I have an Arab fetish, and whenever I comment on, like, you know, especially the toxic Arab content on TikTok, I'm always like, yeah, they love the Latinas, right? Especially the Chocolatinas, but they're not gonna marry us, they're gonna marry the Fatima. And I actually had a Fatima respond to me on one of them, so it's really funny. Anyway. All right, guys, let's get started. So for those of you guys who are new here, welcome. Let's see if you guys can guess how much is the HD Lipo 360 on screen. Let's see who can get it on the first guess, okay? So we have a couple people in here, so I'm looking for at least 3 comments, okay? All right, so Fatima says that she's Arab and Latina. That's so funny. Oh my God. I love that for you. So you have the best of both worlds. Okay, so Brittany guessed right off the bat right away. Okay, so 4.5K, that's exactly how much it is. So shout out to you, Brittany, for guessing it right off the bat. Let's go ahead and pin that comment so we have it good to go. Okay, so 4.5K is in fact the price. And then if you guys would like it with the BBL, it is 5.8K. All right, so just so that you guys have the mental note, this is by Dr. McDaniel. Now, Dr. McDaniel differs from, for example, Dr. Luster. Okay, we had a question here. How can I get my stomach flat? This is a nice flat stomach. All right, so this is actually Lipo 360 by Dr. Luster. And for those of you guys who would like this type of look, this is regular Lipo 360. As you guys can see, it's all uniformly flat. Okay, so if you are interested in getting additional information such as what's the BMI requirement for Dr. Luster, that is where you guys leave your details in the little blue box down below. All right, additionally, if you guys have already been on my live and you have already left your information down below, but you're still curious, what's the difference between the price between Lipo 360 and Lipo 360 with ab etching? You would hit us in the DM, okay? You would go in our DM and you would ask there, okay? Now, I do want to play a fun little game with you guys. I played it for like the last couple lives, and hopefully you guys play as well here with me today. All right, so first and foremost, let's go ahead and let's actually get the answers for you guys. All right, but the game that I do want to play with you guys today, just give me 1 second. Let me pull up the answers. I actually have to go to Avana Plastic Surgery over on Instagram so I can scroll down and actually get the answers for you guys. But in the meantime, one sec. Okay, perfect. I found it. Guys, how much do you think it costs? And thank you, Nurse JBSN, for the follow. How much do you guys think? How much time do you think it is to do a Lipo 360? How much time do you think the cosmetic surgeon, the plastic surgeon, takes to do the Lipo 360? Let's see if you guys can guess correctly, okay? Ooh, Nurse JBSN guessed 1 hour. All right. Do we have any other guesses in here? Where's my Latin Arabic girl? Go ahead and give that guess for us. Keisha's live. Hi, welcome. I saw you here yesterday. How are you, my love? And then Brittany guessed 2 hours. Keisha guessed 1 hour. And then to Keisha, how much time do you think it is? 96 Princess guessed 4 hours. Okay. And then Doll Baby guessed 2 hours. All right. Do we have any other guesses, guys? Because so far we had a couple. All right. We had a couple so far. Do we have any other guesses before I conclude this one? I'm only going to do one more with you guys. So She Delivers says 1 to 2 hours depending on the person's figure. Guys, the correct answer is actually 2 hours. Okay, so She Delivers, Dolly Baby, as well as Takesha Renee and Brittany, you guys guessed absolutely correctly, just as you guessed correctly as well. All right, so I want to do one more with you guys, and this one is very interesting. How much time do you guys think it takes to do a macho makeover? How much time do you think? All right, how much time? And this is the last one that we're gonna do, okay? How much time do you guys think it takes to do a macho makeover? Now, just for reference, a macho makeover is the top mastectomy, then the midsection, and then the men are also doing the BBL drizzies, guys, okay? So it's the back as well. So top, midsection, back. Similar to what a mommy makeover is, okay? And the mommy makeover is always the top, midsection, back. So Takesha guessed 3 hours. Okay, yes, it's someone guessed 2.5 to 3. All right. She Delivers guessed 3, and Keisha's Life also guessed 3. All right, shout out to you guys. All of you were correct. It actually takes 3 hours. So shout out to all of you for guessing correctly. I love that for us. Okay, so you guys are learning things from the lives. All right, fantastic. Okay, so guys, I do want to show you here. This is by Dr. Abasi. Now, obviously earlier today, well, right just now, right, seconds ago, I showed you what a macho makeover looks like and what the abs look like when you do a macho makeover on a man. Now, if you would like it defined, this is the most defined video that we have. This is what it looks like on a woman. Okay, so I always want to have you guys see what HD lipo looks like. Very, very, very structured, very sculpted, okay, in comparison to what it looks like when you just do the flat tummy like Debbie wants. So Debbie just wants a very flat surface. This is the difference between lipo 360 and HD lipo 360. So once again, I'm just going to show you guys so that you guys have the visual in your mind. And again, these are two different doctors. This is Dr. Abasi, okay, and then the other one is Dr. Luster. Now this is a nice flat surface like I showed you guys earlier, and that's the difference between that and ab etching versus a lipo 360. So ab etching is going to give you more of a female abs, okay, versus HD lipo is going to give you that nice sculpted look. Do you guys see the difference? I want you guys to actually like visually see the difference, okay? So for those of you guys who would like more information and want to see the before and afters, let's go ahead and see what we got popping off over on Instagram, because that's where you guys are going to be able to see that. So for those of you guys who actually want to go on your own to Instagram, please make sure that you're following us before you leave, because I do want you guys to find us again, okay? So let's go ahead and see what's popping over here on Instagram, okay? So first and foremost, there's a very cute Ghibli type video with well, it's a post actually with all of the doctors. They look adorbs, no? They look cute. Anyway, so we have Peter. How come the doctors never talk about complications about these surgeries? So Peter, that is a fantastic question. If it's in fact a question and not a troll, they actually do talk about the complications, believe it or not. So I'm happy you brought that up. Wink, wink. If you guys go over on YouTube, there is on Avana Plastic Surgery, same name, except it's over on YouTube. If you guys go on YouTube and you actually look at the videos under the microphone, they talk about all of the, I want to say, controversies in plastic surgery. So there's 2 episodes currently. There's one with Dr. McDaniel, who is the same doctor that you guys see who has done this here, right? So Dr. McDaniel's video talks about breast implant illness. Highly recommend you guys go and check it out. And then we have another video with Dr. Luster, and she talks about the macho makeovers, okay? Because she actually coined the term, funny enough, for those of you guys who don't know. So she also talks about that, okay, in terms of all things male plastic surgery. So that's an entire episode dedicated to you guys. And then the first one, which is with Dr. McDaniel, he talks about breast implant illness. Is it real? Right? So please go ahead and check out that. The other one that we are going to be launching is with Dr. Mamaniskis. So I highly, highly, highly recommend you guys check it out over on YouTube as well. That way you guys can see their actual opinions and opinions from actual plastic surgeons, cosmetic surgeons over there, okay? In the meantime, guys, does anyone else have any questions for me? Because we are going to start going over some of those before and afters over on Instagram, and I do want to go over it with you guys, okay? So there is some new specials going on. I love that for you guys. There's a match deposit special happening currently. It's on one of the pinned posts at the top 3. All right, so she delivers, says, my doctor. I love that for you. And Peter Drade says, thank you for answering that. No problem, guys. Anything that you have questions for, I will do my best to actually answer for you, especially if you're like actually being genuine and it's not like trolling. Even if it's trolling, I'm still gonna answer, obviously spicy. But I'd still love for you guys to be able to actually see the content and get the correct information, because at the end of the day, that's what I'm here to do, right? I'm here to give you guys information. So speaking of information, this post is fantastic for those of you guys who have loose skin and don't really know, should you do a tummy tuck versus should you do lipo, 360, and J plasma. Now, a tummy tuck is recommended for those of you guys who have had a lot of weight loss, excessive amounts of weight loss, or if you'd had a baby and you have that like pouch, does that make sense? And you kind of need that to be fixed. If you just have a little loose skin, and this is why we always recommend you guys actually hit us with this information in the little contact form, because once you have that free consultation, and I don't know if I mentioned this yet this live, but you guys always have a free consultation with us here at Avana Plastic Surgery. Once you have that free consultation with the doctor, they will be able to tell you if you need lipo and J plasma versus if you need a tummy tuck. Most people only need the lipo with the J plasma. So I'd highly recommend you guys actually go and check out this video. This is from the 90s. If anyone here is from the 90s, raise your hand, put a little emoji in the comments so I know. I'm giving away my age a little bit, but it's fine. So for those of you guys who are interested in learning about lipo and J plasma, this is a fantastic video. If you scroll down on our profile, either here or on Instagram, you're going to be able to see this video, and it really and truly goes into detail about what exactly J plasma is. Okay, J plasma is a tool that helps with skin tightening. Okay, so Nurse J is from the 90s. Fantastic. So you remember these used to be the original tutorials before we had YouTube, before we had TikTok. These used to be the original tutorials, so it's a little fun twist for those of you guys who would like to remember. So this is a nice tutorial on what exactly lipo and J plasma is. So he explains it, it is actually shown to you, and then most importantly, it tells you towards the end of the live how long it takes for you to see the results of J plasma. That's something that I want you guys to keep in mind, okay? So Peter Dre, thank you so much for the follow as well as you, Tash, forever grateful. Truly appreciate it. All right, so we only had one person from the 90s here. Oh my God. Everyone else is born in the 2000s. You guys missed out on a generation, I'm not gonna lie. You guys missed out. Okay, so anyways, let's scroll down. Let's see what we missed out on yesterday here. Let's go ahead and put something fun on here just in case. So you guys not watching me, watch yourself. Whoa, we have She Delivers from the 80s. Pardon me. Keisha's Life from 1977. All right, so Tasha Forever in the 80s. No 90s babies in here. Technically, I was born right at the cusp of 90s, but I still consider growing up in the 90s. Okay, so Brittany said no 90s babies are in here, and She Delivers says 40 years are young. You know what? When I was younger, I thought 40 years was so old. Obviously, like when you're 7, right? You're like, oh, you ask any 7-year-old, how old is old? And they're going to be like, yo, 40 is so old. And then when you get closer to 40, you're like, I'm just now starting to live. So for the question that I had earlier today, which was like, oh, what is the like latest age that I can do surgery? That isn't something that's really and truly considered here, okay? Like, more importantly, it's always about your medical history, and you're never too young or too old to reinvent yourself and to start over and to do this and to do that, okay? One of the best quotes that I always see on social media going around is, do you guys remember, who is that wedding gown designer? And she really and truly started like her fashion design in her late 40s. I forgot her name. Something with a Donna, maybe. I don't remember her name. But basically, it's never too late to start over, okay? Now, one thing that we are going to go over is some of the videos from yesterday. And one of them is, again, financing options. If you guys want to know about financing options, you know what to do. All right, but there is a spring into beauty breast lift as low as $29 a week. Love that for you guys. Okay, and then let's see what else they have because it's a carousel. What I love is that I find out these things at the same time as you guys, so I'm actually gonna give you a real life like first time experience, which is fantastic. Okay, and then they just talk about free consultations available with all of the surgeons. Send us a DM for more info. I already told you guys that. Okay, let's go and see what's next. And then Dr. Mamaniscus, again, Dr. Mamaniscus is the one who did this one. Let's see, reclaiming confidence, one curve at a time. I love that. So again, a mommy makeover is exactly what this is, except for the women. It's top, midriff, and back. I believe this was a mommy makeover. Maybe this was HD lipo. No, this was HD lipo and BBL. So if she had included the breast, which if she had included the breast, it would have been, right? But if she had included the breast, it would have been a full mommy makeover. Now, a mommy makeover can include lipo 360. In this case, it was HD lipo 360, or it could include a tummy tuck. And then when you do the breast augmentation, you don't have to necessarily do an implant. You can actually just do a breast lift. For me, for example, once I actually have my babies, once I find a man I want to keep, okay, and then actually have my babies, I will most likely just do a breast lift because I'm already a triple F. Does that make sense? So you don't necessarily have to do an implant, especially if you already have the chest. Okay. In the meantime, let's see what else they got going on. So they have that one with the mommy makeover with Dr. Mamaniscus, and then they have Dr. Hamamjin, who did the breast lift, where I was just telling you guys about. And yes, though, that breast lift is giving. Okay. I wonder if I can show you guys. No, I can't. It looks good though. It looks good. It looks good. It looks really, really, really good. So Designer Queen has a question. Did she get implants? And I'm going to tell you no. So Nurse JBSN said, is there any way to video call or fly out prior to the surgery to meet your surgeon? Girl, of course. First of all, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't tell you guys this. Sorry, guys. Every day to me is literally the exact same. So sometimes I forget to tell you guys some things, but this is why I always invite you guys to actually ask, because unless you ask, I presume I already told you because I've said it so many different times. But yes, absolutely. You can do a virtual consultation with that free consultation no matter where you guys are at. So all of my 80s babies in here, all of the girls, I know one of them was even from the 70s. Where are you guys joining in from? Nurse J, where are you joining in from? I saw Jamaican flag in here as well. So just to give you guys that heads up, yes, absolutely. That free consultation can actually be done virtually. You do not need to fly in. That's not recommended. Okay. Definitely book that virtual consultation. And then, yes, of course, you meet the doctor in advance through that virtual consultation. Now, Brittany says, see, I feel like with lipo 360, you need your arms done too. Girl, I'm telling you, once I actually get on this table, like I said, once I decide which man I want to keep, and then I decide, to actually do my thing after I get my babies, I definitely want arm lipo 100% because I like that skinny arm look, right? I already have skinny arms, but I want it even skinnier. If I'm going to be snatched, I want to be snatched, all right? And so if you want your arms done too, Brittany, I'd highly recommend you ask if there's any specials on an add-on, because I know a lot of times we do, but I'd highly recommend that you actually follow us on Instagram as well, because they often add those deals where you can add on any area of lipo. That's how often I've read it, because it's literally memorized exactly how they wrote it. And they always pin it at the first 3 at the top. But I would highly recommend you ask anyway. Ask if there's any deals going on to add any area of lipo. Exactly as I said it, are there any deals to add any area of lipo? Exactly how you write it out to them, okay? And they will get back to you, because usually once you actually book a procedure, adding something is going to be cheaper than just doing the one thing all together separately. Does that make sense? So if I were you, I would book for a lipo 360 and then ask if there's any deals to add on the arms. Okay, so we have Alabama in the building with Nurse J. I love that for us. Keisha's life is in the Bronx, New York. Fantastic. Brittany said bingo, followed. Fantastic. And then she delivers. She did her virtual consultation with Dr. Mamaniskis when she got her lipo 360 and BBL in 2023. I love that for you. Let's go ahead and pin that. And how was your virtual experience? How was your virtual consultation with Dr. Mamaniskis? Please share with the class. That way everybody know what we can prepare for, because I believe it was Nurse from Alabama who wanted to know in particular. Now we have Brittany who says, yes, ma'am. Thank you. All right, let's see what else we got popping over here over Instagram. So the breast lift by Dr. Hamamjin, 10 out of 10. Again, I would love, love, love a breast lift. This, if she did the mommy makeover and she include the breasts, right, it would have been 10 out of 10. I think this body was done overseas. Definitely in international waters. And the way you can tell is it's not distributed to actually fit her frame on her body. Now, that's the difference between doing it overseas, where they actually are not board certified, versus having it done board certified here in the US. Now, I always reference this particular video. If you guys have a minute, scroll down on our profile here. This is when I used to actually wear makeup and come to work looking cute. Scroll down on our profile and you guys are going to see this video that talks about body balancing. I would highly recommend you guys check that video out, because at the end of the day, I want you guys to see what it looks like when the body is done to match the frame of your actual body. In comparison, when you guys get to done overseas and you look like this, you're gonna have to come back again. Who wants to do surgery twice? You want to do it once and correctly, okay? There's this quote always where it's like, measure twice, cut once. Not cut twice, 3 times off. You know what I mean? So measure twice, cut once, meaning do your free consultation here. Actually talk to a board certified, like, plastic surgeon, cosmetic surgeon, whatever. And ensure that you only go under the knife once. Now, for those of you guys who want to go under the knife twice, that's somebody who, for example, they did their BBL, but they want a bigger BBL, right? That's different than this. This means you went to try to get this body from the first place, but then you didn't walk out with this body. So now you have to come under the knife again. You don't want to have to do that. It's too much on the body, okay? Measure twice, cut once. Does that make sense? Scroll down and check this video out, because again, it's really good. It talks about body balancing. All right, so we have She Delivers, who said she felt like she was there. He was very kind and open, and we talked about family. Oh. Yeah, Dr. Mamaniskis is so cool, guys. For those of you guys who want to see Dr. Mamaniskis, last post, we actually just posted him yesterday doing the morning routine of Ashton Hall. Has anyone seen the morning routine of Ashton Hall? Let me know in the comments. So we did a spoof with Dr. Mamaniskis. So if you guys have not seen that video, go and check it out, comment on it. I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna love that video, okay? Now, She Delivers says she's getting lipo 360 and a tummy tuck in June 4th with him. That is so exciting. All right, let's go ahead and pin that comment. So for you, Nurse, thank you so much for sharing the live. Hopefully She Delivers answered, because she said she had her virtual consultation. And she said that he was very kind and open, and that they talked about family. So as you guys can see, he is very open and empathetic, and most importantly, of course, you guys get to meet him before surgery, obviously, okay? I highly recommend you guys speak with him. okay? Or any of the plastic surgeons that we have. We have over 10 plastic surgeons here, so I highly recommend you guys talk to them. This is Dr. Schusterman. He currently has, I believe it's a face and neck lift special going on. I highly recommend you guys go and check him out because you guys are sleeping on him. I say it all the time. And then what's funny is after I say it, like a week later, he's going to be so booked. And then I'm going to be like, hey, you want to do a video? He'd be like, I don't have time. He's literally Mariah Carey after a week. So it's so funny. Anyway, you guys are sleeping on Dr. Schusterman. Go and check him out. In the meantime, like I said, guys, make sure that you're following Instagram so that you guys can see when there's other deals and specials going on because they always interchange it. Okay? And I find out when you guys find out. I don't want anything to do with it. I find out when you guys find out and then I tell you guys. Okay? So then let's scroll down and see what else they got going on. So Dr. McDaniel, fantastic BBL. Oh, all the BBLs you guys are never going to be able to see here, by the way. That's something that you guys are going to have to find on Instagram. But there has been a fantastic BBL there. Let's see what else they got going on. They got a tummy tuck with Dr. Oval. Okay, love that. And then what else do we have? Oh, okay, so we do have that video over on Instagram as well with Dr. Schusterman. Remember I told you guys are sleeping on Dr. Schusterman? Okay. There's a video on him and it's the spoof. I don't know if you guys remember the trend that's going on right now where they're just mentioning like Taco Bell, Burger King. In this case, I think he did the one with the fruit because I didn't want him to be associated with like Taco Bell or Burger King. So we just did it with the fruit. And basically, remember at the beginning of the live when we went over, you know, how long does it take to do Lipo 360? How long does it take to do this, that? So he actually has the full video and also Dr. Mamaniskis has the other full video. So go ahead and check that out if you guys would like to also know how long it takes to do Lipo 360 and BBL, facelift, macho makeover, as well as thigh lipo, arm lift. Go ahead and check that out. Okay. Now let's see what else we got going on. We have a BBL by Dr. Golio. And then what else do we got? We have other specials in terms of financing for breast augmentation, Lipo 360 with male ab etching and fat transfer to chest by Dr. Mamaniskis. That one looks so good. Ooh, they switched up the lights. It looks good. Let me ask them to send me this. Hold on. I always harass her when I'm on live. I always harass her when I'm on live. What's funny is that she's most likely watching, but like from another account. Can you send me this, please? Okay. So Peter has a question. Where are we located? We are located in Miami. We have 3 locations here, Miami, Flagler, and Hialeah Gardens. For those of you guys who are flying into town, for example, we had people from Alabama, the Bronx. Where else were people from earlier? I don't think you mentioned, Peter, where are you joining from? So I know, yeah, those are only 2 locations that I got. But anyway, if you guys are flying in, please speak. Oh, okay, so Brittany's in Boston. If you guys are flying in from Boston, from the Bronx, from Alabama, Peter's in Georgia, please ensure that when you're speaking with the coordinator and you guys finally establish, okay, this is your BMI, meaning this is the doctor that you can be paired with, please ensure that you are booking a hotel, not an Airbnb, a hotel that is closest to where you are going to be doing your procedure with that doctor. So for example, if you are booking a doctor like Dr. Luster or Dr. McDaniel in Hialeah Gardens, and then you want to book a place in downtown Miami, that's not going to be free. Does that make sense? That's not going to be conducive to you. because at the end of the day, you want to be as close as possible to Hialeah Gardens. So whenever you are talking about post-op care, please discuss this in detail in terms of where you should look for hotels in that general area. The coordinator will help you with that. Okay, so please, 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 when you guys are in fact discussing everything in your free consultation, you ask them about post-op care and if they can recommend any hotels that's closest to or nearest to where exactly your doctor is located. All right. The reason being, for those of you guys who may have never been to Miami, Miami's traffic is insane. You don't want to book a hotel in downtown Miami or Miami Beach and you're doing your procedure in Hialeah Gardens, because the traffic is going to be insane. And right after surgery, you're not going to be in the mood to wait 1 hour in traffic. Okay. Every single day coming to work, dedicated 45 minutes. Mind you, I'm 15 minutes away. All right. So just to put you guys, in perspective as to what you should deal with here, ask your coordinator where the nearest hotel they'd recommend after post-op based on where you are located. Okay. Now, if you are booking with Dr. Mamaniskis, Dr. Hamamjin, or Dr. Schusterman, you are going to be in the Flagler location. Just so that you guys have that in your mind. And then if you guys are booking with Dr. Luster or Dr. McDaniel, you are going to be in the Hialeah Gardens location. Okay. All of the other doctors, I believe, are at the original location. I think it's West Miami, they call it. But other than that, do we have any other questions for me, guys? We have been so fantastic in the live today. Shout out to all our new followers. And for those of you guys who are not yet following, what are you waiting on? Okay. Please make sure that you hit that follow button, because I do want for us to be in contact and communication. I just opened TikTok just to kind of see what's going on, because obviously I have to create some content for you guys later. And I saw that Bianca finally left Kanye. Let's hope it's true. He's just been such an embarrassment to us as a community. I don't want to talk about it. But hopefully that's true. Because how else will he learn, right? How else will he learn? Anyway, guys, have you guys seen that video that I posted with Dr. Mamaniskis on the Ashton Hall spoof? If you guys have not, please go and check that out. In the meantime, go and check out Instagram, because that's where you guys are going to be able to see those before and afters. And then most importantly, when I'm not on the live, you guys can always send us a DM. I do recommend, though, that when you do send a DM, please leave your name and number, because not everybody is chronically online, right? I'm chronically online, obviously. So if you're not chronically online, which most likely you're not, please leave your name and number, because they're not going to be able to set up an appointment to call you or contact you or set up a good time to speak unless you do that. Okay. And most importantly, guys, also for those of you guys like Peter who would like to know about more of the controversial topics of plastic surgery, please check that out on YouTube. The series is called Under the Microphone. They have their own playlist for it. So please check it out, because the doctors go into detail there about these controversial topics. Okay. Again, check out the Instagram, because that's where you're going to see all of the before and afters. And I highly recommend you guys do that, just so you have an idea of what's going on. Okay. And in the meantime, guys, I look forward to seeing you on my next live. Shout out to everyone who was in here the entire time. And I look forward to seeing